everybody in the podcast and Periscope land. Hoping to.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah. Alright, let's see. And we're live now. So I'll start taking this seriously. You don't do that. You give it a minute or two.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, it's not even
You have to
turned
let it
on.
happen to get people involved. Let's see, how many people out there in Paris? I have
5 so
How
far.
many people are there
5
in
so
the
far.
universe? Is this like a...
not on Mars anyway. Okay,
Although there is water on Mars now.
there is water on Mars and people say it's flowing, which is crazy. Okay, let's start this for real. I'm going to start recording in 5,
Don't forget to ask questions, people.
4, yes, please ask questions.
Ask questions about Mars. Not really, though.
No, you definitely should ask questions about Mars, I think. Would be awesome.
If there's a PR angle on Mars, definitely ask that.
Found the first PR agency on Mars.
Or just in general.
Oh my god, my voice sounds so awful on there.
That's
Turn
you.
that off.
Alright, now we can take questions for real, so we'll start. We won't keep the 8 people out there waiting any longer. So we're going to start in 5, 4, 3. Hello everybody and welcome to PR Week, PR Week's weekly podcast covering everything going on in the worlds of marketing, PR, and communications. I'm Frank Washcook, I'm your host for this week, and we will be talking about everything going on in the general news cycle and some things that are just specific stuff for you PR pros out there, keeping you entertained for the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. We'll do our best. We'll be talking about the Volkswagen crisis, which has really engulfed the car company, and really a major crisis here, but also in Europe. We'll be talking about Facebook's rumor pushback and how they have pushed back against rumors that you can have a paid subscription on the website. We'll be talking about Wagner Edstrom's rebranding to, is it We or is it WE?
It's we.
So it's We.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we will be talking about a major contract that went up for bid and was won by a non-incumbent firm this week. Interesting stuff. We'll also be talking about some major people moves that a lot of people have been interested in on our website, and Twitter's character limit, and Instagram ads. We'll be talking about all of these things this week. So let's start with Volkswagen. Diana, you've covered Volkswagen quite a bit this week. Tell us the latest with Volkswagen.
Okay, I feel like our UK team has done most of the coverage this week.
See, that's good. You're unselfish and you're giving
I
credit.
am. I
where
want
you
to give
deserve it.
credit where it's due. Oh my goodness, this chair. I believe that the latest is that Volkswagen has taken on a number of communications firms to aid them with the crisis. I think it's Kext. What was the main one in Germany?
Kext is definitely working on it in the U.S. They've also brought on a firm in Germany that's overseeing the whole process. And
Edelman's continuing to help them on the consumer side.
that's right. They're definitely still continuing to work with Edelman. And just today, they replaced their global head of communications. So
Yeah.
this is a snowballing thing. So what's really interesting, I think, is if we see how many states or countries continue to investigate them or launch investigations and things like that. So something to keep an eye on, right?
Definitely, yeah.
What else, Diana?
They set up a website to help keep their customers up to date with everything that's going on with the recall and any changes. So that's interesting, and that's a great. They should be doing that.
By the way, one of our astute viewers on Periscope just pointed out that Volkswagen was on the cover of Der Spiegel, which is pretty bad, and I agree with him. That's a bad look for Der Spiegel is like the big media outlet, the big print media outlet in Germany. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. So they set up this website. As we discussed last week, they've really been on top of apologizing and cutting top executives and replacing people. So
Do you think it's worked?
I don't think yet. I think it's going to take a while to really rebuild trust, if they even can. I don't know. I don't know if generally consumers maybe. I know their sales were actually up in September.
Which is amazing.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Maybe consumers, the general consumer.
Worth pointing out that the company lost 40% of its market value on the stock market as of earlier this week, starting last week. Lindsay, if you were in the market for a car right now, would you consider buying a Volkswagen?
No,
No? Why not?
I just don't want one.
You don't want one. Okay. Fair enough. Have
What
either
is
of
my
you
first
ever
choice?
given any thought to buying a diesel car? Because I haven't. Or an environmentally friendly car, or hybrid perhaps?
Maybe a hybrid.
I've thought about it. Yeah.
I love Priuses whenever we rent cars. I really think they're great. Because you barely pay for gas. You get so much gas mileage out of them. One of our viewers, by the way, says she is a Volkswagen owner and would probably still buy a Volkswagen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So food
See,
for thought.
I just wouldn't, it wasn't like because of the whole scandal, I just like,
You just don't like Volkswagen.
it's not that I don't like it, it just like wouldn't be on my
I
first.
mean, that's the thing, like, does the general consumer, is it really going to, I mean, it's really, you know,
Yeah.
horrible that they lied about this, and it says a lot about the company and the people that work there.
But it was like the cars, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, as a general
Yeah.
consumer.
I think people are okay with the fact that some companies are run by awful people.
Oh, yeah.
I think they are okay with that. Viewer says it's been the most reliable car she has ever had, and then it faded out, unfortunately, so I didn't see it.
Well, I mean, like my parents, for example, have like only bought Fords since I was born, and I guarantee if the same thing happened with Ford, they'd still buy Ford cars because they're just very loyal. Like
Brand loyalty.
Yeah, it's been
It's a real
years,
thing.
decades.
Okay, I think it will hurt their brand, but we'll see how it hurts their sales. One thing may not necessarily translate into another. And thank you for your feedback from Periscope. We appreciate it. So let's talk a little bit about Facebook and how they push back against another vicious chain email type thing.
Yeah, so anybody who's been on Facebook lately will have noticed people, there's a knocking, will have noticed that there's been a circulating legal notice people have been posting that basically is along the lines of, if you don't publish this statement at least once, you will be allowing Facebook to use your photos,
Steal your soul.
yeah,
sell your firstborn
information
child.
contained in the profile status updates. It's a hoax. Don't worry, everybody. It also says the letter that people are posting also says that they need to purchase a $5.99 a month subscription to ensure their posts stay private. So Facebook responded with kind of a lighthearted post on Facebook where they said, while there may be water on Mars, don't believe everything you read on the internet today. Facebook is free and it always will be. And the thing about copying and pasting a legal notice is just a hoax. Stay safe out there, Earthlings.
You know what's amazing to me? How the whole concept of chain mail and then later chain email translates to the Facebook age. That right, you should defriend people like that. I agree with you.
Wait, so your husband posted the funniest thing about this?
He probably like copied and pasted it.
But he like changed all the words,
Yeah.
and it was so funny. I was like cracking up because I saw so many people, like my friends included, one who is my best friend, was like really serious about it. Like, oh my god, everyone has to do this immediately. Then when I saw Steven's post, I cracked up. I was like,
I couldn't believe how many people fell for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Like I just, because this happened before. This happened in 2012 after Facebook said it was considering taking away users' rights to vote on proposed policy changes. But yeah, also there's a Snopes article debunking the whole thing. So yeah, just if you see people posting this kind of thing, don't worry.
But it amazes me because it's basically chain email.
Yeah.
That's all it is. People are cutting and pasting chain email. Like my parents used to get these chain emails all the time, that were like in 2008 about how, like Barack Obama was supposedly like from another planet, and they would have like the craziest things, and if you mixed up the letters in his name in a certain way, it said like he's awful or something. And they were these terrible chain emails, and it's amazing to me that this is basically the same thing, but on Facebook.
Yeah.
If, Lindsay, you had to pay $5.99 a month for a subscription
No.
to a private Facebook page, would you pay for it?
nope.
No, you would not. Would you?
Maybe I would just totally get off of Facebook.
I don't enjoy Facebook the way it is now.
Yeah, I feel like I probably wouldn't want like all of my information just out there. But I don't know if I would go as far as paying anything.
I feel like Facebook is for people who seek other people's approval.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right,
I mean,
on
you're
to the next
asking for
topic.
likes, so.
That's right, you are asking for likes. Lindsay, bring us up to speed on Wagner Edstrom's. Actually, we can't call them Wagner Edstrom anymore. Tell us what we can call them.
You can call them we.
OUI?
No, and not WII or like the we. Anyway, so so they rebranded, and it's not just a logo change and a name change. It's pretty much like an overall growth strategy as part of the strategy. So the we still stands for the Wagner, the W, and then the Edstrom, and the E. But what Melissa Wagner-Zorkin said on the phone was that Pam, her co-founder, Pamela Edstrom, and her have always felt that it's about other people, it's never just been about them, and that being collective is what's going to keep them in the game going forward. So if you've checked out, they have a new revamped website, revamped logo. What?
Go on.
What did I do? Someone
You
asked a
into
question?
it. They did.
What
Go
did they
ahead.
ask? Was
Just
it
keep going.
not nice?
Just keep
So-
going.
Anyway,
We'll get to questions in a minute. Go ahead.
so my face is going to get red now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Focus.
it's part of a business re-engineering. She said that the content, digital, social media sector grew 25% last year. So they're going to be continuing there. They've seen a lot of growth in Asia Pacific. In addition to all this, they hired an EVP and global client leader. So that would be really great.
So it's a lot more than her branding.
Yeah, she actually unveiled it on a blog, which I thought was a fun way. They said they didn't want to do a normal press release, they wanted to do a blog.
Right.
So she released it on her own blog, and yeah, I mean, if everyone wants to check it out with the video on the website. Yeah.
All right. Interesting stuff. One of the real long-time blue chip agencies is Wagner Edstrom. Been around for a long time. Of course, Microsoft, they're a gigantic, big client, which they're known very well for outside of the PR industry. So we will be keeping an eye on them. Okay, I want to bring you up to speed on one other thing. We had a massive story earlier this week about how, and it was actually an advertising and marketing story, about how Campbell Ewald was selected by Empire State Development, which is the development agency run by New York State. It is a $150 million ceiling contract over 2 years, which is kind of amazing if you think about a cap of 75 each year. The incumbent was BBDO, and that is a gigantic contract, for sure. So what they're going to be doing is a compilation of what a lot of the Empire State Development campaigns were before, which includes I Love New York, the marketing angles of it, things like that, as well as the Empire State of Business and a few other campaigns. So really interesting, big marketing services account that covers a wide breadth of services that we'll be keeping an eye on going forward as well. Okay guys, let's bring everybody up to speed on a few of our recent people moves. With Denise Vitola, formerly of MSL Group, and Stephanie Agresto, also formerly of MSL Group, but doing different things. Guys?
I'll start with Denise. She joined Makovsky in a new position as MD in New York. She's going to be helping to lead the firm alongside Ken Makovsky, the president and CEO. And it was an interesting move because it's not really a consumer marketing firm, and her background is in consumer marketing. She led the North America consumer practice at MSL previously. So when I asked her, why this position, why Makovsky, it seems, interesting. There were a few reasons. One, she said she was only looking at mid-sized agencies when she joined, which was she was one looking to leave MSL. She believes that mid-size is going to be the future because there's better client service, we're more nimble, we're able to do things quicker. Any questions?
Yes, we have a question from the audience. One viewer wants to know how we feel about Mr. Lie's statement about Volkswagen executives or employees acting criminally. Do you guys know who Mr. Lies is? This is his real name. He's a spokesperson for the company. His name is Olaf Lies. That's a true name for a spokesperson, believe that or not.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but I think if I was a spokesperson, I might get like a professional name. My name was Olaf Lies.
Mr. Truth.
Yes, Olaf Truth, perhaps. I don't actually know what statement he made about it. If you want to fire a follow-up question our way, I can answer it that way. But I'm not aware of the statement as of this point. So send the follow-up our way and we'll answer it. Okay, sorry, Lindsay, go ahead.
I don't know. So yeah, she's going to be doing that in Makovsky. Another reason is because she's actually going to be bringing in her consumer marketing expertise to Makovsky, and there's a potential for them actually having a consumer practice in the future. So they do some consumer work now, but
Interesting
more
stuff.
like consumer healthcare, consumer tech, nothing consumer marketing focused itself. So that's possible for the future.
I think still best known by far for the healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
Makovsky. Diana, over to you.
Okay, Stephanie Agresta left her role as Global Practice Director for Social Media and Digital at MSL Group in June. And she, this week, launched a consultancy that focuses on accelerating the growth of startups. It has yet to be officially branded, but she defines it as part consultancy and part angel investor because she's also taking equity in clients' businesses and joining their board of advisors. She launched it in New York, and she will basically be aiding clients with communication strategies, marketing, business development efforts, and strategic product counsel.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll be mainly focused on clients that are, startups and in the technology.
But a different twist on it for sure with the investment angle.
Yeah, definitely.
And you get to have a lot of influence sitting on the board, so interesting stuff.
I wonder if she'll change the name or name the agency, because I know it hadn't been named yet, right?
Yeah, she said that that's probably in the cards, but at the moment.
Just because the website right now is her name, and I feel like changing it at this point might also be, I don't know.
What would you name it?
I mean, I'm not Stephanie.
Stephanie's agency.
Yeah.
She said she didn't want to name it too quickly because she didn't want to give it a lame name that she'd have to stick with for good, which is smart because
Yeah. What would you name it?
I don't know.
Putting you on the spot.
Truth.
Olaf Truth. That would be a great name for a firm.
Yeah.
All right. Good job. We put you on the spot there. That's a really excellent answer. And if I was hiring a PR firm, I would hire Olaf Truth. All right. As you guys heard about Twitter is considering expanding its character limit in tweets, guys, what do we think about this?
I don't like it.
You don't like it? Why?
I think that's what makes Twitter Twitter, and there's other places where you can have a long-winded explanation.
Mm-hmm.
So it does annoy me, though, when I'm on Twitter and I want to write something long and I have to think no, I have to keep it to this small thing.
But I've also been conditioned to keep things to 240 characters.
Yeah, it's true.
It doesn't really bother me anymore.
Yeah.
But didn't they say it'd be a separate feature rolled out? Not.
I think there's a lot of speculation right now.
Right. So, I mean, I hope they don't change the normal Twitter, the way it is. But if they have a separate section or something where
How would it work anyway? If they did, it would be more like Facebook.
But then the problem is you can't make it too complicated.
Yeah.
That's the other thing they have to deal with. I hope they make it easier to share graphics and pictures and things like that.
Yeah.
Oh, so speaking of Twitter, by the way, one of our Innovation 50 honorees this year is Win Sactin. Sorry if I just said your name wrong, but he works at Twitter now. Before that, he was at Duracell. Our Innovation 50 list came out this week, and
I hear it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really impressive people in there. People from everywhere from Activision to NASA to Bully Pulpit, all different people across the board. It's a really, really great list. And Byron, is it still going out? Or is it done now? Still going out? You can talk. Everyone knows you're holding the camera over there.
It's done. All 50 have been revealed. All
They're
50.
all on the website where things live forever. So you can check them out.
And there's some videos too, so it's good. Everyone should check them out.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a good collection of content. It lives on PRWeek.com. You should check it out if you haven't checked it out already. I'm especially interested in reading about the person from NASA, because NASA's had a really interesting week. There's floating water on Mars, I'm told. And I will be sure to check that one out. That is top of my list for the Innovation 50. Also, because I love rockets. All right. That's all we have time for this week on the PRWeek podcast, folks. Thank you for listening. And to those of you watching on Periscope, thank you for your questions. And we hope we did a half-decent job trying to answer them. Thanks again.
You can stop recording that.
Okay.
Somebody did ask why we didn't film in landscape mode, which would be like that And we did try that for the first one, but whenever I switched over to this mode, I would get comments saying, hey guys, Periscope sucks in landscape, so don't do it. But I think they've actually rolled out a feature that makes it easier to film in landscape now, so I'm definitely open to feedback on that. If you think this works better, I can get 2 people on the same shot this way. Almost all 3 at the same time. But it was just a comment that we had earlier saying that it didn't look so good. And we wanted to accommodate people who I think usually are used to seeing Periscope in portrait mode like that. But maybe we can switch over to that way.
Are there any other questions we didn't answer?
You didn't talk about the Instagram ad.
We didn't talk about the Instagram ad. Okay, Instagram ads. What about them? So they're going... I know the last thing that I read about Instagram ads was that they were expanding them from 15 to 30 seconds. And that they were giving advertisers new features. I think we probably haven't covered that much because it's more of an advertising story than a PR story, but it is something we've covered in the breakfast newsletter. So it's something that we are following for sure. Do Instagram ads bother you guys if you see them? If you're like gramming it up and you know.
I don't really use Instagram.
You should. It's a lot better than Facebook.
I like looking at pictures.
The people are smarter. No, I'm serious. You get witty. No, I'm kidding. But I prefer it to Facebook. I also prefer Twitter to Facebook for what it's worth.
It's Frank, social media 101.
That's right. Also because I have like 8 friends. Total. So, all right, we should probably call it quits at that point.
Thanks everybody for your questions.